Hey, welcome to my channel, Travel the World Today. We're diving into Sweden, land of meatballs and neutrality. It's like IKEA, but with memories. From Vikings to modern cities, Sweden's got it all. Buckle up, bros, for an epic quest to uncover Sweden's must-visit spots. Let's jump right into the action. First stop, Stockholm. This ain't your average boring capital city, brothers. Let's start with the OG Stockholm, Gamla Stan, the Old Town. Imagine cobblestone streets so narrow, you can practically high-five someone across the way. Buildings painted every color of the rainbow, like a box of Swedish candy exploded. The royal palace where the Swedish monarchy does its thing. Trust me, this place is Instagram gold. Alright bros, from charming old towns to a museum dedicated to a ship, I know what you're thinking. Pewds, you've officially lost it. But hear me out, this ain't just any ship. This is the Vasa, a 17th century warship that sank on its maiden voyage. Yeah, you heard that right, it sank like immediately. Talk about an epic fail. The best part? They salvaged the entire ship. You can walk right up to it and marvel at its size. It's history, but way more interesting than your high school textbooks. Trust me. Alright bros, we're off to Drottningholm Palace. This place is like the Buckingham Palace of Sweden, but like way cooler. First off, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is like super fancy. And guess what? It's the actual residence of the Swedish royal family. Can you imagine living in a place like this? Talk about pressure to keep your room clean. The palace gardens are insane, like something out of a fairy tale. You've got perfectly manicured lawns, fountains that probably spit gold, and even a freaking Chinese pavilion. You know I love me some quirky architecture. So, yeah, Drottningholm Palace is a must-see if you're in Stockholm. Imagine the Instagram potential, just like don't climb on the furniture even if you think you can make it look cool for the vlog. Ever wanted to time travel? Well, at Skansen Open Air Museum, you kinda can. It's like stepping back in time to see how Swedes lived back in the day. This place is huge, bros. We're talking over 150 historical buildings, brought here brick by brick from all over Sweden. You've got houses, farms, shops, even a whole town square. It's like a history lesson that's actually interesting. And it's not just buildings, they've got people walking around in traditional clothes, doing traditional stuff. You can watch them bake bread, make crafts, all that old-timey stuff. Maybe you'll even learn how to make Swedish meatballs. Oh, and did I mention there's a zoo? Yeah, a zoo with Nordic animals like reindeer and wolves. So, yeah, Skansen is a full day of fun, education, and maybe a little bit of fear if you get too close to the wolves. Okay bros, buckle up because we're heading north to Swedish Lapland, home of the legendary Ice Hotel. This place is literally made of ice and snow. I'm talking walls, ceilings, furniture, even the glasses you drink from. Every year, artists from around the world come together to rebuild the Ice Hotel in a new design, so, like, you're literally sleeping in a giant work of art. Just try not to, melt it. Imagine sleeping in a room that's below freezing. You'll definitely need more than just a Snuggie here, bros. They give you super warm sleeping bags though, so you won't turn into a popsicle. The Ice Hotel is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Just, maybe pack a hairdryer just in case, for science. Alright bros, buckle up because we're heading north, way north, to Abisko National Park. This place is basically the ultimate wilderness experience in Sweden, like straight out of a Skyrim mod or something. First off, you gotta see the northern lights here. It's like a giant rave in the sky, but instead of dubstep, you get these crazy green and purple lights dancing around. It's totally lit, no pun intended. And if you're lucky enough to be there during the summer, get ready for the midnight sun. That's right, the sun literally doesn't set, which is kind of trippy, but also amazing for hiking at 3 a.m. Just, watch out for bears. And maybe pack an extra pair of socks. Trust me. Next stop, Kiruna. This place is about as far north as you can get in Sweden without, falling off the map. And the coolest thing about it? Literally, the Ice Hotel. Imagine a whole hotel made of ice, like Elsa just went crazy with her powers. They rebuild it every year with fresh ice, so it's always different and always amazing. Plus, there's an ice bar where you can get drinks served in ice glasses. Cheers to that! But hold on, there's more! Kiruna also has the Ice Hotel Church, which is exactly what it sounds like, a church made of ice. Can you imagine getting married there? Talk about a cool wedding. Just try not to sneeze on the altar, you know? Ice is slippery. Okay, enough with the cold stuff. Let's head south to the Gothenburg archipelago, a bunch of islands off the coast that are basically like little slices of paradise. We're talking picturesque fishing villages, colorful houses, and more seafood than you can shake a stick at. And the best part? No cars allowed on most of the islands, so it's super peaceful and relaxing. You can go kayaking, swimming, fishing, or just chill out on the rocks and soak up the sun. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of city life and just, be one with nature. Just watch out for seagulls. Those things are vicious, man. Seriously, they'll steal your lunch right out of your hand. Don't say I didn't warn you. Alright bros, buckle up because we're headed to Liseberg Amusement Park in Gothenburg. Imagine screaming your lungs out on insane roller coasters like Balder and Atmosphere. But hey, if rides aren't your thing, don't worry, there's something for everyone at Liseberg. During Christmas, this place transforms into a magical winter wonderland. So grab your friends, grab your family, and get ready for a day filled with laughter and thrills. Next stop, Malmo. This city is like the cool kid on the block, the one with the fancy haircut and the edgy fashion sense. And the Öresund Bridge? That's like their prized possession, connecting Sweden to Denmark in a feat of engineering that'll blow your mind. Imagine driving from one country to another over the sea. It's like something out of a James Bond movie, except without the explosions and car chases. Well, hopefully. But Malmo's not just about the bridge, okay? This place is a melting pot of cultures, with stunning architecture, delicious food, and a vibe that's both modern and historic at the same time. Check out the Turning Torso, this twisted skyscraper that looks like it's defying gravity. Seriously, Malmo's got it all. So ditch those boring travel brochures and get your butt over to this awesome city. You won't regret it, I promise. Hold up gamers, we're about to enter a real-life RPG. Get ready for Visby, a medieval town on Gotland Island that's straight out of a history book. Think cobblestone streets, ancient ruins, and enough charm to make you forget all about your diamond pickaxe. Imagine walking through streets that haven't changed much in centuries, surrounded by buildings that have seen it all. You can almost hear the clash of swords and the roar of the crowd as knights joust for glory. And those city walls? Epic. It's like they built them in creative mode with towers and gates that'll make you feel like you've traveled back in time. They even have a medieval festival every year where everyone dresses up in costumes. So, ditch the console for a bit and experience the real deal in Visby. It's like stepping into another world, a world of history, beauty, and maybe a few too many mead halls. Just saying. Alright bros, buckle up because we're heading to Uppsala, home to some seriously old-school Swedish history. First up, Uppsala Cathedral. This massive Gothic masterpiece is like the biggest church in all of Scandinavia. It's been standing tall since the 1200s, can you believe that? And right next to the cathedral, perched on a hill like a boss, is Uppsala Castle. This bad boy was built in the 1500s and has seen some stuff, let me tell you. It's been attacked, burned, and rebuilt a bunch of times, but it's still standing strong. Inside, you can explore museums, check out the royal apartments, and even see where some Swedish monarchs kicked the bucket. Talk about history coming to life, right? Plus, the views from the castle over Uppsala are absolutely insane. Don't forget your camera for this one. Okay, listen up all you adrenaline junkies. If you're looking for an epic winter wonderland, our ski resort is where it's at. This place is basically the Swedish Alps with slopes for every skill level. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a total newbie like me, you'll find your perfect run here. But it's not just about skiing and snowboarding, though that's definitely a major highlight. Our also has this super charming village vibe going on, with cute shops, restaurants, and après ski spots where you can warm up with some glögg. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can try ice climbing, snowmobiling, or even dog sledding. Just imagine, cruising through the snowy forest with a pack of huskies. How cool is that? Are is definitely the place to be if you want to experience a real Swedish winter wonderland. Alright, nature lovers, this one's for you. The High Coast, or Höga Kusten if you want to sound fancy, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site for a reason. We're talking dramatic cliffs plunging into the sea, dense forests, sparkling lakes, and hiking trails that will blow your mind. This place is a hiker's paradise with trails for all levels of fitness. You can choose a leisurely stroll along the coast or challenge yourself with a multi-day trek through the mountains. And the views? Don't even get me started on the views. They're so breathtaking, you'll probably need a moment to just stand there and soak it all in. And if you're lucky, you might even spot some wildlife along the way, like moose, reindeer, or even bears. Okay, maybe not bears, but you get the idea. The high coast is a must-visit for anyone who wants to experience the raw beauty of Swedish nature. Alright bros, buckle up because we're heading to Sigtuna, the oldest town in Sweden. Founded all the way back in the 980s, this place is like stepping into a history book, but with way less dust and probably fewer Vikings trying to raid you. Sigtuna is located just north of Stockholm, so, an easy trip for a day of exploring cobblestone streets and ancient ruins. Imagine like walking paths that Vikings walked, maybe even breathed the same air. Spooky, but also kinda cool, right? And hey, history buffs, get this. Sigtuna is home to some of Sweden's oldest churches and runestones. We're talking like actual Viking graffiti. Plus, after you're done time traveling, grab a fika, that's Swedish for coffee and pastries, you're learning, at a cozy cafe. Honestly, Sigtuna is the perfect blend of history and modern chill. You can practically smell the history, mixed with, like, cinnamon buns. Okay gamers, let's talk castles. And no, not the ones you build in Minecraft, though those are cool too. I'm talking about Kalmar Castle, a real deal Renaissance masterpiece straight out of the 13th century. This place has seen it all. Wars, royal parties, you name it. It even played a key role in Scandinavian history. Remember that whole Kalmar Union thing? Yeah, this castle was basically the VIP lounge for that. But honestly, even if you don't care about history, you gotta admit, this place is gorgeous. Imagine like a fairy tale castle surrounded by water with towers, drawbridges, the whole shebang. You could totally LARP here and no one would judge. So yeah, Kalmar Castle, a must-visit for history nerds, architecture geeks, or anyone who just wants to feel like royalty for a day. Just, watch out for moats. Alright, from castles to giant stone mushrooms, yeah, you heard that right. Get ready for Gotland's Raukar, these crazy limestone formations that look like something straight out of a Salvador Dali painting. So, basically these bad boys were formed over thousands of years by the erosive power of the sea. Nature, you crafty sculptor. Seriously though, these things are huge, some of them towering over 10 meters high. Imagine like strolling along the coast, the wind in your hair, and bam, you stumble across these giant stone monoliths just chilling on the beach. It's like stumbling onto the set of an Indiana Jones movie, but with less melting Nazis, hopefully. Honestly, Gotland's Raukar are one of those natural wonders that make you go, whoa nature, you wild. They're definitely worth a visit, even if it's just to get that perfect Instagram shot. #RockLife. Alright bros, buckle up because we're about to dive into some serious history. This is Lund Cathedral and it's not your average house of worship. This place has seen 1,000 years worth of things. Construction started in the 11th century. Imagine hauling those giant stones around. Finished in the 12th century, it's been standing strong ever since. One of the finest examples of Romanesque architecture in Scandinavia. Look at those arches, the sheer size of it. The inside is even more insane. Intricate carvings, a massive astronomical clock, and a creepy crypt. If you're in southern Sweden, add Lund Cathedral to your list. Trust me, this place will blow your mind. Alright bros, buckle up because we're about to enter a time machine and travel back to the 15th century. There's this place called Gammelstad Churchtown, a perfectly preserved village from way back when. Imagine a massive stone church surrounded by cute little red cottages. People traveled for days to attend church and stayed in these cottages. UNESCO named it a World Heritage Site, which is a pretty big deal. Okay, so we've seen Viking ruins, ice hotels, and medieval towns, but are you ready for some serious nature? Sweden's got you covered. Let's talk about Lake Vänern, which is basically Sweden's version of an ocean. I mean, this thing is huge. We're talking the largest lake in all of Sweden and the third largest in all of Europe. You could probably fit all the meatballs in Sweden in there and you'd still have room for more. But it's not just about size, alright? Lake Vänern is surrounded by these charming little towns, beautiful beaches and forests that go on forever. If you're into fishing, get ready to catch some monster fish. We're talking pike, salmon, trout, you name it. Or you can just chill out on a boat, soak up the sun, and pretend you're a Viking explorer discovering new lands. Just try not to fall in, okay? Unless you want to be swimming with those monster fish I mentioned earlier. Well, there you have it, bros. 20 amazing places to visit in Sweden that will blow your minds. From the cobblestone streets of Gamla Stan to the epic vastness of Lake Vänern, Sweden's got something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Book that trip, pack your bags, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure. And hey, if you happen to see a 10-foot fish in Lake Vänern, tell him PewDiePie says hi. Thanks for watching, bros. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future adventures. See you in the next video.